Alright. Hey guys, today the topic of interest is four subtle signs of fear. Now, for the most part, a lot of us are fearful and we aren't aware that we are actually afraid. So we hide our fears through our excuses. So in this video, I'll be showing you the four subtle signs that you are fearful. And if you see yourself in this, don't beat yourself up about it. It's just good to be aware, because once you're aware, you put yourself in the realm where you can actually make a decision on it. But for the most part, a lot of us are plagued by these signs. And because we're unaware, we just continue to live our lives in a fearful state, unable to change anything. So, with that being said, let's begin. So the first sign that you are fearful, the first sort of signs that you're fearful is overcaution. So when we're talking about overcaution, what I'm talking about is waiting for the right time before you do something. So a lot of us, we put our dreams into the future, so we wait and we think, I'm going to wait for the right time, the moment that I am right. When I have more time, I'll do this. When I feel more confident, I will do this. We say that sort of thing. But this is the thing, right? We say those things because we don't fully understand the concept of time. So when you think about time, this is it. The only time that really exists is this moment right now. So this moment that we're having, you and I. This is the only thing that exists, right? The past doesn't exist and the future doesn't exist. It's only now. The past is gone, right? And the future is just a fragment of the mind, just a projection of the mind. It's not real. So the moment that you say that I'm going to do something in the future, or I'm going to do it when I'm ready, what you're really saying is that you're going to do something in the future, and the future doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that exists is right now, right? So chances are, if you're not actively working on something or actively working on your dream right now, at current time, at present, it's highly unlikely that you ever will do in the future, if that makes sense. Right, so, and the thing is, the reason why a lot of us project our dreams into the future, the reason that we don't take action right now is because we're afraid. We're afraid that we'll fail. We're afraid that we'll be embarrassed, right? And you have to understand this. You have to give yourself the right to be wrong. You have to give yourself the right to fail, to make mistakes, because that's what life's all about. There's nobody who's been successful who has not made any mistakes, who has not failed. Give yourself the right to make a mistake. Go for it. It's better. I'd rather, right, you go out there and you try, you take action right now and fail and embarrass yourself or whatever, because by that experience you learn something. You would have learned something, rather than just procrastinating and doing nothing. Because doing nothing, you learn nothing, you don't progress. So just make mistakes. Give yourself the right to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. So that's the first sign, overcaution. So always waiting for the right time, right? Because the right time doesn't exist. The only time is now, really. Okay, the second sign that you are fearful is envy. So you harbor envy. So you criticize and you judge people who are successful. You never have anything nice to say to people who are doing very well, right? Because what that does is it communicates a mentality of lack, a mentality of poverty. Because what you're really saying is, when you're attacking people who are doing well, what you're really communicating is that you think that there's not enough room at the top. You're saying that you're angry at them because you don't think that you can do the same thing that they can do. But in reality, you can do exactly the same thing that they can do, right? You can do it. There's a lot of room at the top, right? It's crowded at the bottom. It's crowded at the bottom. Like everybody's struggling. There's so many people who are struggling, and there's so few people who are successful. And you find the people who are successful do not criticize or attack other people. It's only the people who are unsuccessful, the people who are struggling, who attack other people, because we're all being trampled on at the bottom. And like, if you ask 100 people, like if you go out on the street and you ask 100 people, like, what do you want to do in life? What is your aim? What is your goal? What is your dream? Right? Only 2 out of those 100 people will be able to give you a definite answer, like a clear answer on what they want to do with their life, right? Which just goes to communicate that the 98% of people that you interact with, or 98 out of 100 people that you interact with, don't know what they want to do with their life. They haven't got a definite aim. They can't communicate with you, right? So there's enough room at the top. So when you find yourself criticizing others and you're angry at the success of other people, you get envious. It shows that you are fearful, that you contain a mentality of lack. That's really what you're communicating, because there's lots of room at the top. If you just commit yourself to something, and you build a plan, and you persevere, and you decide, make it in your mind that you will not give up, you'll be able to get the thing that you want, right? So that's the second sign, envy. Right, not being able to be happy for other people, right? Right, the third one is this indecision. So you allow other people to make decisions for you. So you go with the wisdom of the crowd, right? You're afraid to do things on your own. And I've seen this in my own life. So one example is this. Like, some of you guys who do know me or follow me on Instagram for a while, you know that I'm involved with a clothing line called Lab Threads. So when that came about, when we started doing Lab Threads, I had on the side the dream to be a peak performance coach, but I never took action on it because I was so afraid. So I masked my fear through committing more to lab. So I was involved with lab and stuff like that, and I was doing different things. I was going to the meetings all the time, but I wasn't actively working on my dream because I was too afraid to think for myself and try commit to my dream and try and make my dream work. So I was masking my fear through the group, because in Lab Threads, the clothing line group, there were like 5 of us. So all of us would be doing something. So everyone would be doing something, and I'll trust the judgments of them. So I just go along with what they were doing. I just go along with the ideas they were pumping out on me. Go along with what they thought I should do, rather than actually thinking of myself and thinking, wait, let me try develop myself. Let me try do a YouTube channel. Let me try upload daily. Let me try do this. But I was masking it through the association of Lab, because Lab was doing very well. Lab is a very good clothing line. You should check it out. But I was hiding through that. So I was trusting the wisdom of the crowd. So I also had other friends who I would share my dreams with, and they'll give me all these ideas and say, you should try do this, you should do this, you should do videos on that. But I wasn't thinking for myself. I was going along with what they were saying, right? And by me going along with what they were saying and not trusting my own mind, I'm communicating to myself that I do not trust myself. So, right? I'm fearful. So that's another sign of fear, that you don't think for yourself. You always go with the wisdom of the crowd. You never really think for yourself. So that's a sign of fear, that you feel that you do not trust yourself. Okay. The third one is indifference, and this is a subtle one. So indifference is this: you accept the hand that life has dealt you. Okay. You have no desire to try change it, and it comes with a lack of self-control and you just live life of impulse. So a lot of people who pretend that they don't care about life, is like, oh, you know what, it's okay, it doesn't matter, you know what, whatever happens, I'm okay with it, you know, life is just a roller, it's all good, you know, it's a roller coaster, I just go along with anything. Those people are really the most fearful people, and I'll tell you why. The reason they're fearful is because they're too afraid to try change their reality. They're just happy to accept whatever happens, right? And that's a sign of fear, right? Because you're running away from the fear. You pretend that you're okay with everything. You pretend that you don't mind, right? Everything to you is just a massive gray, right? Like everything is gray. There is no black and white. It's just gray. It's all good. And normally with those people, what you find is this: you find that there are habits that are out of control. They find that those people have addictions. Those people just live life of impulse. There's like no discipline there. And the reasons why there's no discipline is because you're masking that pain. You're masking that fear through different activity, right? So you're like, we're made to grow. So if you're just accepting life for the way it is and you're never trying to change anything, you're never trying to expand yourself, you're going against your very own nature. And the thing that's stopping you from going against your very own nature is fear that you will not be able to change your circumstances. So afraid that you're paralyzed, so afraid that you don't even try. You just accept things for the way they are because you, deep down, you don't think that you can change things. So that is the fourth subtle sign of fear. I'm telling you, and I've seen a lot of these in my own life, so and in the lives of others. So reflect on this. So let me read the comments real quick. I'll see what I'm saying. Oh, Josh, hey, thank you. Yeah, guys, I appreciate you. Okay, so guys, that's the video of today. Peace, love, blessings. Goodbye.